The moon hung in the sky, round, full and fecund. And the people loved her, and the stars loved her, but the sun loved her more than most. And the sun desired her, and he decided that he would woo her and he would wed her. And so he chased her across the sky. And my darling, he said, please, will you marry me? Well, the moon, she enjoyed the heavens, she enjoyed the adoration, but she really enjoyed being free. And she travelled through the sky and she said no. But the sun persisted. He followed her. Please, will you marry me? And again she said no. He wouldn't let up. He was very persistent. And he continued to beg, to ask. And each time she said no. But persistence sometimes pays off. It can wear somebody down. And the moon was tired. And so she said, yes, I'll marry you. But on one condition. And the sun said, anything, he said. Fine, said the moon. She said, what you must do is make me a dress, a beautiful wedding dress, a dress that will fit every curve and contour of my body, a dress that the heavens have never seen the like of before. And the sun was delighted. He thought he was going to have a real challenge, but making a dress, he could do that. So off he went, and he knew the shape of the moon. He had studied her carefully. And away he went, and he stitched and he sewed and he embellished and he embroidered. He took starlight and he wove it into the fabric. And it took him 2 solid weeks of work. And when he'd finished, he had the most magnificent wedding dress that you have ever seen. But when he went back to see the moon, he looked dismayed. He said, my dear, it appears you've been pining for me, for you are not quite the shape that you were. And he looked at her, and indeed she was a slither of her former self. And he held the dress up, and he knew it was going to be no good, but he threw it over her head, and the dress slid off her. And the moon said, she said, I only had one condition. It must be a dress that fits me like a glove. So the sun took no chances. He took out a tape measure and he measured it up and down and sideways and upwards and backwards and forwards. And he wrote it down and he measured her twice. And away he went. And he cut the fabric and he stitched and he sewed, and it took him 2 whole weeks of hard work. But when he'd finished, he had the most beautiful, thin, sylph-like dress. And so you can imagine his dismay when he went back to see the moon, and there she was. He said, love must agree with you, my dear, for you are back to your beautiful fullness. And even though he tried his hardest, he couldn't get the dress even over her head. She said, one condition. And the sun went away again. And when he did, the moon, she sang and she danced across the sky because she was free. And when the sun returned, well, you know what happened. From that day to this, the moon waxes and wanes, changing her shape constantly over time, and the sun still pursues her through the sky, begging, imploring and stitching and sewing. But the moon will always be free.